Hey everyone, and welcome to the Iron Ledger setup tutorial. I'm going to walk you through getting your fitness tracker up and running in just a few minutes. For further details, you can look up the PDF or PNG in the description, or the Help tab if you've already purchased the template. If you have further questions, you can also ask in the comments. I'll gladly answer them. Let's dive right in. Alright, since this template comes from an external link, Excel will probably open it in protected view. So the first thing you'll want to do is enable editing. When opening Iron Ledger, Excel may display a security warning about external links. You have two options here. Option 1, enable content. When you click enable content, you'll activate helpful links in the Help tab, including direct support email access, YouTube tutorial videos, and the product updates shop. These links are safe. They only connect to official Iron Ledger resources. Option 2, continue without enabling. The tracker works perfectly without enabling external content. You'll still have full functionality. Only the clickable links in the Help tab will be inactive. Now, depending on the settings you had in Excel before opening my template, the workbook settings might not have carried over. So in that case, let's start with configuring Excel for optimal experience. For the best experience, and to use it the same way I do, I recommend going to Options, then Formulas, and disable background error checking. This really helps with performance, especially for our fitness tracking table that will later have more than 1,000 entries. Next, head to Advanced and scroll down to Display Options for this workbook. Here I recommend hiding both the horizontal and vertical scroll bars. You can replace the horizontal bar function with your mouse scroll wheel, and the vertical with Control plus Shift plus scroll wheel. Don't worry, everything is designed so there's minimal scrolling needed anyway. Also hide the Sheet tabs, since the header navigation bar replaces that function. I highly recommend using the shortcuts to cycle through tabs. Use Control plus Page Up or Page Down on laptops without dedicated page keys. Use Control plus Function plus Up or Down arrow keys. Now, these three settings aren't mandatory, and you can keep them as you prefer. Just keep in mind that I designed everything with these removed. Finally, in View, hide the headings and formula bar, and then press Control plus Shift plus F1 for full screen mode. And now, the complete dashboard is accessible without any scrolling or zooming. Alright, let's get into the general setup. Head to the Settings tab and set up the following. First, choose your units. Then, enter your birth date. Note that list operators are auto-detected to ensure formulas work across different regional Excel settings. Only change this if formulas aren't working correctly. Navigate to the exercise entry table. Here you'll add exercises from your personal training routine. Don't worry, the examples I'm going to enter now to showcase how the entry works will already be added in your template. I've included the coming examples to show you the format, but I intentionally kept this only to a few examples because this is your personal tracker, so it should match your training program. There's no need to add every exercise at once. Adding a database would have been as easy as just making one prompt to any LLM. But you're meant to build your list as you go. To check what categories are available, either press on the downward pointing arrow or use the shortcut Alt plus down arrow key. To check what muscle groups exist, all you have to do is select the muscle group header and a pop-up will appear with all the available muscle groups. Now, let's enter some workouts. To explain the type column, let me show you how it works with duration-based exercises. For regular rep-based exercises, you'd leave type blank, but if you want a time-based version of an exercise, like a bench press hold instead of regular bench press reps, for whatever reason, you'd enter duration in the type column. This tells the tracker you're measuring time under tension, not reps. So by adding duration in the type column, you get a separate duration-based variant of that exercise. Again, everything before the comma is the main targeted muscle group, and everything after is the secondary targeted muscle group. Perfect. All other settings can be customized and fine-tuned later. For a quick startup, this would be it, though I would recommend following the recommended setup. Now for the journal section. Go to the routine tables section. Use the exercises you added in settings to build your workout routines. Program date is more for indication of when one started this particular routine. Here, I will add some examples about the table labels. The routine tables are labeled push, pull, legs, and so on, but these are just hard-coded organizational labels, though they should be enough for the majority of people. You can adapt your training split to these tables. The table labels don't have to dictate your actual training split. Here, for example, as I do cardio in the morning before my workout, I have that at the top of my push workout routine table. Set your routine order. You have two options here. Option A, basic routine order. Enter routine numbers separated by commas. For example, type 1, 2, 3 for a push-pull legs rotation. The IDs can be seen in the table right next to it. Option B, advanced routine order. Enter your pattern in the advanced field. Adjust the N value to match your total pattern length. For example, when you have a cycle that changes, like push legs pull, cardio, push legs pull, upper, lower, cardio, or anything more complex. So for this example, we will have to change the pattern to open curly bracket, quote 1 quote semicolon, quote 2 quote semicolon, quote 3 quote semicolon, quote 4 quote semicolon, quote 1 quote semicolon, quote 2 quote semicolon, quote 3 quote semicolon, quote 7 quote semicolon, quote 8 quote semicolon, quote 4 quote close curly bracket, which is 10 entries, so change N to 10. As for offset, we don't need to change anything. For include weight, I personally have it enabled. This includes your previous weight for the exercises in the routine. I'll explain more how the cycling works later once we're in the fitness tracking tab. This is important. Add your body weight. This is required for accurate volume calculations, as it affects total volume for body weight exercises like pull-ups, dips, push-ups, and so on. I recommend updating this regularly for precise tracking. Let's head to fitness tracking. Quick tip. Before entering any data, I recommend formatting the date column to your preferred style. Everyone has their own preference here, so set it up however you like to see dates displayed. All right, so I'm going to enter some examples. So the routine order cycles once a day, as you can see by me entering different dates. Now, because the routine order is a bit lengthy, I recommend hiding the column between the date and duration. To copy the routine, all you need is to copy it and paste it in the table. But most importantly, paste values and not normal paste by right-clicking and then pressing V, or use the shortcut Alt plus E plus S plus V. Important when copying with duration. The sets column doesn't auto-expand, even when using paste value, so after copying, you will have to go to any row where the sets column formula is expanded, click the cell, and then double-click the green square in the bottom right, which automatically auto-expands the formula. Otherwise, if you don't really care about copying the duration, you can hide the duration column and then the column category and exercise column. So when pasting, the sets formula will auto-expand and you will not have to do anything. Now, what about if I want to deviate from my current program today for whatever reason? All you have to do is type the routine you want in the workout column before entering anything else. And as you can see, it cycles to the routine I want. And there you have it. That's all the setup you need. The more data you input, the more powerful your analytics become. Start simple. Add complexity as needed. And let the data guide your progress. If you need help, check the full functionality guide for detailed explanations. Visit the Connect section in the Help tab for support links and contact info. Now, go crush those PRs.